Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Monday, November 4th, around 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. Tropical storm Raphael forms in the Caribbean and could threaten the U.S. Gulf Coast as the U.S. snowpack tilts into insane territory. Keep calm. It's boom time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the election eve, and we need to implore each and every one of you listening tonight, if you can, in the United States, get out and vote tomorrow. No matter what it takes, this is the most important election of your lifetime. Central U.S. severe weather packs tornado, wind damage, and flooding threats all day and into the night. Strong storms are hitting parts of the U.S. for the third straight day after spawning destructive Oklahoma tornadoes. We had a full report last night on all this sad and devastating tornadic activity. But it continues today, a video showing a tornado forming in Little Flock. Yeah, Little Flock, Arkansas. I guess a play on the Little Rock where Bill Clinton's boyhood home, but clearly you can see a funnel cloud there forming there. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to all those affected in the hurricane or the tornado region. Tropical storm Raphael forms in the Caribbean and could threaten the U.S. Gulf Coast. Here is the key message for Tropical storm Raphael. This is the latest update, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Raphael is forecast to become a hurricane when it passes near or over the Cayman Islands by Tuesday evening, where damaging hurricane-force winds are expected. A dangerous storm surge and destructive waves expected as well. Tropical storm conditions are expected in Jamaica tonight and Tuesday, which will be their lose day. Additional strengthening is forecast before Raphael reaches western Cuba as a hurricane and the Isle of Youth on Wednesday, where it is an increasing risk of dangerous storm surge and damaging hurricane-force winds. The current intensity models show it increasing to Cat 2 after it makes its way over Cuba. Here are the current tracks. They've now diverged, and they're all over the map. Two tracks take it south here, and it stalls out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Half of them towards New Orleans and the other half towards the panhandle of Florida. So this is so many days out. Now 3 or 4 that we're going to keep a close eye on this for you, and we'll take a look at those intensity tracks as they continue to update. Many of the models showing landfall on the U.S., which would be in this region here, which would be 3 days from now. Most of them having at Cat 1 or Cat 2. So this is going to be a hurricane at landfall and rapidly decrease in strength. And as that storm, Raphael, gets closer, we'll have more updates on the potential flooding for the Gulf Coast. That is still a few days out, and the models are now churning. Here's the full forecast. Severe thunderstorms and excessive rainfall in the central U.S. Critical fire weather in California. Scattered severe thunderstorms associated with tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds are likely today from the southern plains to the Ozarks and mid-Mississippi Valley. Excessive rainfall is also likely in these areas. Gusty easterly winds and low relative humidity will support elevated to critical fire weather over coastal portions of California today into Thursday. Funny how they don't mention all of the winter storm warnings and watches and the heavy snow coming to the western U.S. And side note, all of the basins that were once at extreme deficit now in ridiculous territories. Look at this. In Baker City, 11,200% of snowpack. In Yakima, 426%, 568% of normal. Oh my God, we've got a really good season lining up over 100% in all the blue and green regions. Only a deficit up here in Montana, and that will be filled in the coming days. Take a look at these models. So all of the snow basins are absolutely epic, and they will continue to be epic as we make our way through November 20th here, and we're not even in winter. Oh my God, we could be seeing some record-breaking snowfall totals for the U.S. Let's take a look at the GFS model, MLS plus precip, and see where the GFS is moving this tropical disturbance. There you can see it there, breaking down as it approaches the panhandle, which will be good news and not a lot of flooding rain or consequences. So this isn't a big, scary storm. All the models are showing extreme shear and colder water once it enters the northern Gulf here, and the storm continues to break down on all of the model runs. So that's good news for the people on the Gulf Coast. This is just going to be a tropical rain event like you see all the time, in my opinion. A quick look over at the total snowfall, and let's get a look at what's happening with the early winter across the upper 48. Here is Tuesday into Wednesday morning. Heavy snow for the west, a spattering of snow for the northeast and northern Maine. Maybe some flakes up here in Minnesota or Wisconsin, but nothing spectacular. Heavy snow for regions that need it the most in Montana. And on Wednesday through Thursday, that storm is going to move all the way down towards Mexico. Take a look at those snow totals moving down the spine of the Rockies into New Mexico and the Continental Divide, all the way into Texas by the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week into the weekend, showing a very wintry forecast. And well, the global warming goodness is falling in excess. Idaho is tilting the map with record-breaking snow totals. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore is not happy with the forecast for November. A November to remember. Seismic update. No quakes of note, low level, normal activity worldwide, some mid-ocean ridge activity. A rumbler just popping off in Tonga at 10 kilometers. Nothing to worry about worldwide. As we move over to worldwide volcano news, a big update coming this morning. Volcanic eruption at Liwatobi Laki in Flores, Indonesia, burns houses and kills at least 10 people. So quite a spectacular paroxysm at Liwatobi Laki. And the rest of the volcanic activity for November 4th. Sakurajima, 18 NM south of, 7,000 foot blast there. Canelon on the list, 9,000 foot puff. Sabancaya, unable to detect. Good news there. Santiaguito, no volcanic ash. Karimsky on the list again, 10,000 foot puff today. Naya Mura Gira in Africa, in the rift zone, very feeble eruption continues for the fourth day. Swanosima to 6,000. Dukono to 10. Fuego to 15. Take a look at the thermals here on Stromboli. Above average explosion generated a lava flow, which halted in the meantime. Good news there. Here we can see more blasts from Liwatobi Laki, yet another paroxysm last night. Alert status is now raised to level 4 after those 10 deaths. Liwatobi to 10,000 last night. And here we see some of that destruction from the eruption at Liwatobi. Death toll now risen to 10. Popo to 22,000 foot today. Samaru, who knew? Now you do. 15,000 foot blast. Naya Moragira in Africa. The eruption is weakening, thankfully. I hope I don't have to pronounce that anymore. Karimsky, 10,000 foot puff. Swanosima, volcanic cloud. Liwatobi to 6 as the ongoing paroxysms continue. Santiaguito, 15,000 foot blast. Samaru to 15. Fuego to 16. Ibu to 10, Popo to 22. Stromboli continues with the new volcanic flow. And we are wrapping up the list here quickly. Sabancaya to 25. Liwatobi, a small blast to 4,000. Canelon to 11,000. And that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the day. A quick look at space weather for November 5th. Yes, we've gone across the UTC. We've got sunspots facing Earth. We did have some solar flaring happening over the last 24 hours. A moderate duration M flare, a impulsive M flare as well. but it is the glancing blow from the M3.8 that is now being modeled by NOAA at the Space Weather Station there, now showing perhaps the extreme edge of the plasma cloud may reach us on the 7th. And what are they saying here for geomagnetic storm probability? Just G1, geomagnetic storm on the forecast. Nothing spectacular. And we are at solar max and very little geomagnetic activity. How do you like them apples? Now, don't miss the actual space weather show, which is going to be the Taurid meteor shower, peaking tonight and tomorrow night. It's currently raining outside, so I guess I'll miss the opportunity. But after sunsets in the next few days, the sun has just been new, so we'll have very little lunar light. You can get up and look to the east near Jupiter, and just to the right of Jupiter is where the northern Taurus that's the center of activity right there out of the Taurids. That's where they seem to be emanating from, but it's actually a place in space where these bolides are entering the atmosphere. It has nothing to do with the star itself. That's just in the background. So that's how we locate those spots. But the peak will be, in fact, the 4th and the 5th for the southern Taurids. The Taurids will continue through November 12th, and it will be the best time to look for them when they reach the broad maximum. Roughly 8 to 12 meteors per hour might be seen under dark skies during this period, and their name comes from the way they seem to radiate from the constellation of Taurus, that's we just described there. So get out and look up. Holy macaroni, scientists just got closer to creating the heaviest element ever. Heavier than even the element that powers the UFOs, according to Bob Lazar. Yeah, that's element 115. And now we're talking about element 116. In a feat of modern-day alchemy, scientists have used a beam of vaporized titanium to create one of the heaviest elements on Earth. And they think this new method could pave a way to even heftier horizons. What could go wrong? Well, what they did was they blasted titanium-50 in a laser beam into the target, plutonium-244. And by fusing titanium-50 with plutonium-244, they got, do the math, livermorium-249. And that broke down with the release of some neutrons into livermorium-290, a potentially stable element which only lasted a millisecond nonetheless. But what they're looking to achieve here is, well, to bend the universe in their direction, to create elements that may not exist and actually may be detrimental to life on Earth. How do you like them apples? All the links will be below. A U.S. man breaks the world record after building a boat from a giant 1,224-pound pumpkin. I had no idea this was going on, and I'm a boater. Gary Christensen made headlines by paddling a massive 1,224-pound pumpkin 73.5 kilometers down the Columbia River, setting a new Guinness World Record. Potentially the dumbest Guinness World Record ever. Now, as you saw on the kickoff, it is election season, and election day begins in just a few hours. Tomorrow morning, people, tens of millions, will be headed towards the polls. It's anyone's guess what happens tomorrow, as it is a cybersecurity exercise from the highest levels of the deep state. Are they planning something big tomorrow? I don't know. I hope you already voted. I did. But if you haven't, get out there early and make sure you get your vote in, because the Americans are preparing for a second civil war, according to the New Yorker. Many Americans now believe the U.S. could descend into political violence starting tomorrow. Some are joining survivalist communities and hunkering down tonight. So, get out and vote. If we have a landslide and there's no way to rig it, There is no way for political violence. Do what you have to do. Vote your conscience and vote for a future you want to see. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. And, well, hopefully after tomorrow, we still have a show. We are going to be live streaming on Rumble the election starting at 6 p.m. If you don't know where our channel is, just download the Rumble app, put in Oppenheimer Ranch Project, and go get it. We're going to live stream at least 4 or 5 hours, and we'll start over on YouTube and then jump over to Rumble once the results start coming in. So join us there for a fun-filled evening of what could be quite chaotic. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the Al Gore rhythm. And be safe. We love you. And pray for the future of the country.